On today's Minute of the Apes, we're going to try to keep Todd awake, old man.
Divine bomb.
They are the good human and the dead human.
Where there is fire, there is smoke.
Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies, 1 minute at a time.
You still awake?
Barely.
All right.
That's Sean.
It's Wednesday.
Richard's over there scratching his face. I'm fighting.
It's hump day.
I am fighting sleep because for whatever reason at 5 o'clock in the morning, my body went, get out of bed. And it is hitting me now. As we record this, it is 12:39 Central Time on a Sunday. And I mean, seriously, at the end of that last episode, my eyes were so heavy. I was like, I think I'm about to crash. So we're going to fight through this. I'm going to stay awake without doing coffee.
All right. You're going to do some Coke instead.
I might do Coke. Well, that's a given.
Coca-Cola.
Here's the great thing about Wednesday. That's my Coke day. Taco days are your Monday. Wednesday is my Coke day. Hang on. Oh, I'm good now. Let's go, bitches. Come on.
Cocaine Wednesday.
Sean, minute 37. Tell us what's going on. Besides the fact that it starts with the worst still of Marky Mark ever,
Yeah.
tell us what's happening minute 37.
Minute 37, minute 38.
Oh, did I have 38? Oh.
Yes, we're on minute 38.
I'm glad we talked about this. See, that's how tired I am. I'm opening the wrong damn thing.
All right, we're going to start minute 38 with thunderous sounds and the ground shaking and ends with a sneak attack to the back, Jack.
Man, that's better for me because 38 means we're closer to done.
Yeah.
Here it comes, minute 38. Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes.
The thunderous sound, the ground itself shook.
You sure you weren't dreaming this?
It was no dream, sir. Wrong.
You told no one about this.
No, sir. We knew we had to come right to you.
You did exactly the right thing.
As of minute 38, we've got a Oberon's worth of apes and humans, 2 displaced pods worth of humans and apes, wild humans, and an ape city. And we might be losing 2 apes here, I'm not sure.
So we begin with shots through the gorillas in the blood red muscle suits to Thade walking behind them. The smoky, weird, swampish area, moonlight coming down through it as they look up at the canopy that is now broken from where we assume that Leo's ship crashed through. Thade is looking around at the damage, turns back to them, weirdly pats them across their chest as he walks by, which is a little bit of a Hannibal Lecter looking kind of thing to me as he almost
Smears his hand across their
touches
chest.
them before what's going to happen. He walks off on his own after he tells them that they did right not to tell anybody else. He takes that weird, almost look like throwing stars more than they actually look like knives. He goes back, jumps in the air, and comes down on them and uses those devices apparently to kill these 2 gorillas.
To be honest, when he drags his hands across their chests, yeah, I thought he was removing pieces of armor that he was then going to use to stab them with. Like it, it felt like a hand trick. Like I'm just going to pull off these devices, these circular devices that are holding possibly part of your armor up that may be some type of weapon. Like it's almost like he's removing a weapon. Like I could have seen that would have made more sense to me if I'd seen that actually happen.
Yeah.
So that he comes and stabs them with the same weapons that he's pulled off of them.
Well, no, he ends up killing them with the glaive from Kroll.
A little bit, Sean, a little bit.
All right, so there's not a lot here.
No.
He's approaching an area that he should already recognize as having been burned. There's not like a shock.
Right.
they move into the area as if they're looking at something other than this burned area.
The fact that first of all, he goes, "Are you sure you weren't dreaming?" Well, asshole, you see the same trench that we see, right?
I thought that same thing. I'm like, that's the dumbest question.
Yeah.
That might have been if they had before said we saw a ship of flames.
If he had said all this stuff when at the horse, said you have to come out here. We saw something with wings of fire came down. Are you sure you weren't dreaming? All that stuff.
That makes sense.
But you're standing here. You sure you aren't dreaming?
Are you sure, by the way, that this stack of $1 million bills, you're not just dreaming that this is here? No, motherfucker, it's really in front of me.
And also the fact when they go, look. Well, first of all, they took 2 steps forward and pointed the exact way they were already looking. Yeah.
If rather than setting the scene by showing us the burned out area, we saw them walk through a forest into the clearing, and Thade can now see it.
Point at the
it would
trench
make a
that
little bit
way,
more
yeah.
sense that what they're walking upon. I also don't know why. In the context of this moment, I feel like Thade is covering up something that he did as opposed to something to do with the spaceship, because we have no idea why a spaceship is important to him or why he cares about this.
Yeah,
or
why he
this
wants to cover any of this.
Why is to cover it up? Like, I don't know. We almost should have had a scenario early on letting us know that they knew something had happened out there.
Or that there's something... There's something in the original films. You had the Forbidden Zone. You had this idea that something was there that they couldn't get into. There's none of that tells me there's anything that they should be. Sir, we knew we should bring it to you. That should somehow be alluded to.
Well, not even just the idea that there was a Forbidden Zone in the original film. It's that Zaius didn't want them to find it because it would reveal things that he knew to be true, contrary to the scrolls.
Yeah, the humans were the precursors.
Maybe that was a little later on. Maybe I'm jumping too far ahead in that movie, how we kind of come to that.
And that is toward the end, but you're on the right path.
But we're not getting any sense of why he needs to protect this or what it is. If he felt like he was covering up something he did, that's where I would go with it. If he had somehow known something about Davidson and the ship earlier, this would make sense.
Or if we had seen a shot of when Davidson was crashing, you see him on a horseback. I mean, it's giving away an ape earlier, but you see an ape on a horseback watching it come down, and that's Thede that saw it crashing down.
There are all kinds of things too that if he's sitting in an office and he's looking at, let's use Zaius with Forbidden Zone, or Cornelius had those too. If they're doing it and they know they don't want anyone to see it, you can have him simply looking at a map and putting it away. And it's like when someone comes in, I don't want you seeing it. And then if there are reports of anything, then all Thade has to say to guerrillas, if there's anything suspicious, you know to bring it to me first. If he did that, then this entirely has no problem. But this is just a weird...
Right.
It's not even a juxtaposition of weirdness. It is a weird anomaly. It doesn't belong here.
There would be something fascinating about him knowing about the spaceship or knowing something related to it, maybe having killed somebody earlier because of the spaceship. And it gives a reason why he would ask Davidson if there's a soul, why he has an aggression towards Davidson. Right. It would also give a reason why he might be upset with Ari because she somehow saved this person when he needs him for whatever he thinks is going on out there. And then his motivation for potentially killing these 2 apes. I mean, there's just no reason for him to do this right now.
I guess in a weird way, is it interesting that he, for no defined reason, kills these gorillas? Does it create a sense of foreboding that wouldn't be there had he set it up? And is that really what they're trying to do, is to create this, that he is an unhinged character that will kill people? Yeah,
maybe. I do like the shot of him walking back. We get a little bit of moonlight on him.
Very well-lit moonlight.
Very well-lit moonlight. He's just kind of look around to see if anybody else is around. You know, that was kind of nice.
They have 2 moons, so it should be well-lit.
And then he turns around and he does his famous "I'm about to mount a horse, jump out of a window" leap.
By the way, if I'm yawning, can you not say something funny? Because, I'm sorry you ruined my yawn.
I'm actually surprised that they didn't do, considering they made sure to show how apey we were in the previous scene with riding with feet, that one of these daggers wasn't in the foot as he's hitting, or one of the glaives is one in the hand, one in the foot.
It's only going to be consistent ape behavior when we need it to remind you they're doing apish things.
Yes.
There's not a lot here. I mean, it's... No. Let's break out of some cages. Let's have a weird cut to put the apes out there, and then let's look at the canopy and have him kill them. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Again, Tim Roth,
Doing some
Great
good look.
fucking actor.
Great makeup work. I mean,
Yeah,
he's eating the
working
scene
that
with his
makeup,
eyes.
and you can see there's a soul beneath that. There's a soul in there.
There
may not be a Marky Mark, and we are still. I think every casting director, when they look at him, opens his mouth and says, "Is there a soul in there?"
When I saw him leap at that, I thought of Firefly. It's like, curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. I knew, like, we're gonna survive this scene.
But there's no reason for him to do any of this stuff.
Yeah,
No.
there's no reason
because he's bad. That's
we're
why.
not even looking at a ship.
You don't have any.
We have
you
nothing.
saw a trench,
Right,
Yeah.
we saw a trench, and we saw that he says he saw something with wings of fire.
It's always scarier too if he looks back at them and says, "Say nothing to anyone." And then later on, if a scene comes up and he feels like they've said something, then he walks and just kills them. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When that person's like, "I told you to say nothing," dead. It is what it is.
All right.
Anybody?
No.
Gone.
Good.
That is it for minute 38. We will be back tomorrow. Until then, everyone have a great day.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.